So all those years ago, yeah, where did this musical journey begin for you?
Like school days, really. Like, yeah, I was about 12 or something, 11, 12. You know, spitting on the gram thing and all that, and just playing around with it, really. But really and truly, my household's got musical influence, you know what I'm saying? So, you might as well say, yeah, my house, just as a kid growing up around watching MTV and all that thing, you know what I mean?
What were some of them influences?
Oh, what, like that years? That
Yeah,
years
like
ago?
the earliest influences.
Well, the early ones were just, I don't know, just really like just black, like, you know, like just black music, like, so, like, I might capture, you know, like, snippet of, like, a Tupac or a Biggie when I was a proper kid, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't really understand, you get me? But my main influences, like, when I really started listening, you know what I'm saying, like, that, like, late 90s, early 2000 era, you know what I mean? So, D-Block, Dipset, you know, Fabulous, 50.
With this song, Who You Talking To, yeah, back then, like, even though the song was on YouTube, the internet culture we see now,
it wasn't the same.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so for that song to spread, people had to actually talk about it. You know how we use this word like anthem?
Yeah,
that's an actual
that is
proper anthem, innit?
Yeah, correct.
So how did it feel like, looking back, to have a big song, but a big song in an era where you don't have like social media and all the websites to help it grow?
It kind of feels the same, because at the time, man didn't know that, you know what I mean? Man didn't ever know about social media was going to come, you know what I'm trying to say? So, like I was saying, like the feelings that people feel now, you know, man's been feeling that for a long time, you know what I'm trying to say? It's just that, it's just going on a bigger scale now, but I'm still the same, man. I still take it the same. I still just remain humble with it, you know what I mean? That's the feeling it gives me. You know what I'm saying? Any step I see, anything, even from then, where I see something big happen, I always try to maneuver like it's not happening, if that makes sense. Because I know, because
still no kind of thing.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's never, you can always do better. So, but at the time, yeah, it was just, I didn't really know at the time when Who You Talking To was going on that it was as big as it was. You know what I'm
See,
saying?
that's another thing. Like, did you actually know that the song was big? Because when I'm listening to it with my friends in End, you're going to have no idea that that's happening, innit?
So I didn't really know. That's why I'm still the same. You know what I mean? I'm still humble with it, you know what I mean? But at the time, it's only until I kind of went away and started, you know, mixing with people from so many different areas and cities or whatever, that's when I realised that, right, like, this thing's spreading far, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how it was.
So then, obviously, you was on quite a few SN1 tapes, but
Okay.
talk about how did you first meet Gigs, and what did it feel like? Because obviously you must have been like a young Peckham spitter, but then the big man Gigs comes through and he's like, yo, I want you to be SN1. What does that what that process feel like back then?
It just felt like, no, but obviously, like, Gigs is different. Like, for when you're actually from Peckham, you're actually from like the real norm, like how we say it. Like, it's like, that's like Jay-Z putting you on in the rap game. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone like that. That's how it felt to man. It's the equivalent of that. So, like, man's at the time, man is one of top 3 reasons why man's spitting is to get put on by Gigs, innit? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so when it happened, I was just happy, innit? I was just gassed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was just gassed, basically. You know what I mean?
So then, obviously, after you started working together, you got a fair few like mixtape features and collaborative tapes.
Yeah, straight.
So one of them was Welcome to Boomsville.
Yeah,
Hard Body.
That was before I was SN1 though. Hard Body and Boomsville was before I turned SN1.
Oh, okay, you officially became SN1 like after them tapes.
Yeah. The first official tune when I was SN1 was on the Kaiser mixtape. Today's my life. Look, Today's my deadline. Big mixtape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that was a hard one.
That was the signing, basically.
Okay.
But yeah, what you saying before the first two?
Now I was gonna say, with these tapes, Who Said That was another one, innit?
That was after. That was
yeah.
after. That was after.
And that tape as well, like, had bare like classics on there.
Come on.
So looking back now, why I want to discuss this is because like we know about them tapes,
of course.
there's going to be people out there that have no clue. So looking back on that overall era of SN1 mixtapes, like as you mentioned, like Kai's had this thing. There was Bear Man releasing stuff here. Like, what impact do you feel that section of projects had on UK rap like years later? Because I feel like those tapes were massive.
To me, honestly, I mean, you get me. Respect to everyone else that you know, contributed to this thing. Cause there's a lot of man at the time, you know, putting on like, you know what I'm saying, Brits and PDC, you know, so we could go on for days, Mash Time, you know what I'm saying. But I just believe at that point in time, we shaped this game into what it is now. Like, we laid the foundation. Like, the house that we built is basically the house that everyone's living in and made extensions on to this day. You know what I'm trying to say? Even the ones that are making so successful now, they don't even know that, they might not even know where it started at. You know what I'm trying to say? But gigs and the whole Peckham, the spotlight being on us is, I believe, personally, is what shaped this thing. You know what I'm saying?
When you say like shape, like, what exactly, like, how would you define that? Because my interpretation of that is like, with the content and what you was talking about, like that straight hard stuff, like that weren't really, like you said, there was other groups doing it as well, but generally speaking, there weren't masses and masses of that type of music being banged out.
Obviously, man can't take a lot of credit because most of the credit, majority of the credit goes to Hollow, innit? You know what I'm trying to say? Like 80% of it, like, or something like that, maybe even 90. But the extra 10% that we come with because we wasn't, you know, like, how can I say, we wasn't trying as hard as he was, if that makes sense. We didn't understand it, the vision as much as he did, you know what I'm saying? But just for other youths to see, like us, like me and my brethren and that, young youths and that, you know what I'm saying, being on, cause I feel like we were probably the first on YouTube doing that shit, like rapping like that, like the first, like, let's have it right, who you talking to, that video at the time was a big video, like the way it was edited, the rare, you know what I'm trying to say, like, you feel me? So
that was a proper like classic old school video as well.
So when other youths from other areas are watching that shit, that I know for a fact that made them feel like, yo, we could do that as well. And then from there, that's how the, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
That's how the, you know what I'm saying? It's like Hollow's parted it, man's ran through, and then other people are seeing, can we run through as well? You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, the door's been open.
The door's been open, you know what I mean? And they're talking what we want to hear, you know what I'm saying? So they're just like us. That's how I know youths are feeling. That's what I've been told personally anyway as well. So I just know. So yeah, that's how I feel about the game, you know what I mean?
You mentioned there with the YouTube thing, like you lot was one of the first, as well as the kind of like hood videos and that. Westwood freestyles were
of course.
There was a one on GRM's old channel as well. I think it was just you and Gigs.
Yeah, exactly.
There was that
one.
I'm trying to say. And there was at least, I got them all on my phone, YouTube to MP3 converts and that.
You see what I'm saying?
There was bearing them. So what? This another thing. Like nowadays, years later, the online freestyle culture is massive.
Yeah, of course.
There's so many channels, whatever. But how would you describe the impact of them earlier freestyles? Because they still get play. I know people that still play them now.
Put it this way, the police was on man for them Westwood freestyles. You know what I'm trying to say? That was rubbing them up the wrong way. So,
but how are they on to you?
I don't know. Like, they just started, as they started seeing me progress, like, into this music thing or whatever. Like, they just, you know what I'm trying to say, started like coming up man a bit more heavier. You feel me? So that's how I know what the impact it was having. But they could see what we was trying to do, but I didn't know. They could see what I couldn't see, really, because they were trying to put a stop to it. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So they know what this could. You know what I'm saying? Whoever sent them, they know that what this could potentially do for the man them. You know what I'm saying? So that's the impact there. From when people want to put a stop to something, you know that this is. You know what I'm saying? You know that this is serious. You get me? So, by the time though, I don't know, man. I didn't think like that. You know what I'm saying?
When Walk in the Park dropped, yeah, I feel like with that one, if you was following the movement, there was already bare material, but that particular tape was like, it kind of like rubber stamped Human's position like in this thing.
That was
and like
album. That was Hollow's album.
Yeah, first album. That was a big moment, like big moment. So again, it comes back to this whole thing of like, if you know, you know, but I feel like we need to discuss the importance of that tape still years later. Innit? So
it is. Yeah, the importance of that is how do I feel about the importance of that?
Yeah. How do you feel about Walking in the Park?
Like I'm just trying to show you, like the whole thing, like even a CD being in HMV, for man from the ends to see a CD from a man that you know what I'm saying. Like let's just count Peckham out for a second. Anyone from anywhere see a man that you know is particularly from that walk of life, and he's got a big CD, an album in HMV. It already sounds bigger than what it is, and that alone is motivating people more. You know what I'm saying? And plus, when you listen to this shit, you're like, yo, this is what, you know what I'm saying? This is what we're going through. You know what I'm saying? So that's just the importance of them things there. Like, and like I said before, that there put the motivation in other people. You know what I'm saying? And then you know what I mean? And then you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's that. You know what I'm saying? That basically, the key word for me with all that shit is the motivation that is given other people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it would have came later, but it came off that, innit? You know what I'm saying? Like, people was trying to sound like Hollow. You know what I mean? Like, people trying to copy what man's... Even people's copy man's bars to this day. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, and our style and where. And then... Yeah, so it's just the importance of that is just the motivation that it gave everyone else. And if you wasn't motivated by that and you're in this rap game at that time, you're lying. It's a lie. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, it's a lie. You feel me? That's just you get me? You can't deny it. This is like we're not talking like, I don't even want to say in my opinion, fam. This is a fact. This is what happened. You know what I'm trying to say? So that's the importance. Can someone on their hand say, that's good you said that. When we're comparing the man them's thing, like let's say like SN1, PYG, all of that stuff there, if that never existed, yeah, can we say hand on heart that this game would be what it is? I don't want you to answer that. That's for people to think about. Would it be with all these other people, everyone else in the game that was around that time that was pushing, could they have done if we wasn't there, would this game be what it is? Ask yourself that. That's the importance. Like, look, I went away for 8 years and I come back and I'm pushing. You know what I'm saying? That's almost a decade, brother. You know what I'm trying to say? How is it possible a man has been away for almost a decade and still have relevance to this day? Certain man can go away for a year and it messes up their thing. Certain man can go away for 6 months and it messes up their thing. But I've managed to be away for almost 10 years and come back and start something and rebuild like as if I wasn't even gone. That shows you the levels. You know what I'm trying to say?
So then, around this time, around the time all this stuff's happening, like all the tapes, freestyles, the buzz and that, you must have been between like what, like 17, 18?
Yeah.
So that's quite young to be dealing with all of this stuff that you've got no idea. Like, this must have all been new to you, innit? This whatever. So how did you deal with that whilst also dealing with whatever you was dealing with at the time?
I didn't take it serious. That's another thing as well. Me personally, I wasn't taking this serious. You know what I'm trying to say? What Hello was trying to show me back then, I was not taking serious. Like, believe it or not. You know what I mean? So I just used to go on as if that wasn't even happening and just handle what. And to be honest, what I was going through in the streets, the pressure of that made this feel like it's nothing anyway. You know what I'm trying to say? You feel me? Like, man's been in jail, coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, things are going on the roads, like, real shit's happening. You know what I mean? Like, niggas dying and shit. You know what I mean? Man are getting locked up. You know what I mean? So, when it comes to the music, that was just, this is light. You know what I mean? I don't even have to worry about it. So that's how I used to deal with it. I didn't used to think about it.